Hi, in today's video I'm going to help you prepare for your FCE speaking exam part 2, which requires you to compare two pictures and answer a question about them. I'd like to start by giving you some tips and teaching you some useful vocabulary. As I've already mentioned, part 2 requires you to compare two pictures. So my tip number 1 is do not waste your time describing the pictures. Let's say these are the photos that you have to compare. Remember, it is not your job to describe them. You can briefly say what you see in the photos, but the most important thing is to focus on similarities and differences between the two photographs. This is what you could say. Both photographs show female doctors. The obvious difference between them is that the doctor in the first picture treats humans. She might be a GP, and the doctor in the second picture treats animals. She's a vet. They both seem to like their jobs. The GP is supporting her patient by holding her hand, while the vet is petting three dogs with a big smile on her face. Tip number 2, don't forget about the question. Comparing photographs is very important, but so is answering the question about them. Tip number 3, if you don't understand something, a question or a task, say it. Ask the examiner to repeat it, because the worst thing that you can do is to sit there and not say a word. I've prepared some phrases that you can use in case you're not sure if you understood the examiner.
I'm not sure I understand. Could you please repeat the question? Would you mind repeating that? I'm so sorry. I'm very nervous and I'm not sure I understood. Could you please repeat that?
Tip number 4. It is perfectly fine to correct yourself. During speaking, if you notice that you've made a mistake, it is okay to correct it and move on. Here's how you can do it.
On the first picture, in the first picture, I can see the people in both photographs are working. The people in both photographs are working. They are clearly...
Tip number 5. It is okay to pause and think, but your pause shouldn't be longer than a couple of seconds. If you need some time, use filler phrases, such as,
Let me see. To be honest, well, let me think. It's difficult to say.
in part 2 of the FCE speaking exam, you are required to compare two photographs and answer a question related to them. You have 1 minute to complete this task. Once you've completed it, your partner will be asked a question about your photos. They have more or less 30 seconds to answer their question. Then it is your partner's turn to compare their photos and answer a question about them. Once your partner is done, it is your turn to answer a question about your partner's photos. For today's video, I've prepared two examples of an FCE speaking exam part 2.
Lena, it's your turn first. Here are your photographs. They show people on holiday. Compare them and say who might be enjoying their holiday more.
Well, the first photograph shows a group of people, maybe a family, hiking in the mountains, while the second photograph depicts a woman sitting on a boat. Unlike the people in the first picture, the woman is all by herself. She's alone. She's relaxing and she's not as active as the hiking family. It's difficult to say who's enjoying the holiday more. I guess it might be the woman. She's alone, so she can do whatever she wants. She doesn't have to think about other people. Yeah, sometimes when you're on holiday with your friends or family, it can be difficult to make everybody happy because different people enjoy different activities. The single woman doesn't have this problem. She can focus completely on herself, and yeah, that might be why she's enjoying her holiday more.
Thank you. Safira, what do you enjoy most about traveling?
What do I enjoy most? Um, I think it's the possibility to escape my everyday routine and my daily chores. Um, I also love trying new foods. I'm definitely not a picky eater, so it's very exciting for me to try something I haven't tried before.
Thank you. Safira, now it's your turn. Here are your photographs. They show different means of transportation. I'd like you to compare the photographs and say what the advantages and disadvantages of each of them are.
Both pictures show people who are on their way to school or work, maybe. The obvious difference between the photographs is that the first one shows a single driver in her own car, while the second one shows a group of people using public transportation. I think driving your own car is very comfortable, especially if you are an introvert like me. It also saves you time because you don't have to wait for it to arrive, but it can be pretty expensive. And it's definitely less environmentally friendly than public transportation like buses or trains. Public transportation is quite cheap, and if you use it, you never have to look for a parking space, but it has one major disadvantage, which is sharing it with other people.
Thank you. Lena, how do you usually get to work?
I cycle. I like riding my bike a lot. It's like an extra training session. I think nothing beats a nice bicycle ride in the sun. Um, I've recently bought a car, but I rarely use it. Petrol is quite expensive. I only drive my car when it rains.
Thank you. Thomas, it's your turn first. Here are your photographs. They show people partying. I'd like you to compare these two photos and say what the people might find enjoyable while partying.
Let me see. Both photos show people partying, but the party depicted in the first photo is a birthday party, whereas the party in the second photo is a Christmas party. Another difference between the photos is that the first one shows a family and the second one shows a group of friends or colleagues. Everybody seems to be enjoying themselves. Um, the little girl who is celebrating her birthday might be excited because of the cake and birthday presents. And the rest of her family might find it enjoyable to play some games together and eat delicious food. As for the people in the second photo, they might enjoy dancing and drinking together. All of them are wearing Christmas hats, so I suppose they might also enjoy taking silly photos with those hats.
Thank you. Marika, do you like celebrating a birthday?
Yes. To be honest, I don't know anyone who doesn't like celebrating their birthday. I always do something special for my birthday. This year, I went to London for a couple of days, and last year, me and my whole family went to Disneyland. My birthday is always a lot of fun, and I don't really think about getting older that much.
Thank you. Marika, now it's your turn. Here are your photographs. They show people at work. I'd like you to compare the photographs and say why the people might have chosen their jobs.
Well, the first photo shows a woman working in an office, and the second photo shows a man working outside. They are both alone, but they are doing different kinds of jobs. Um, the woman is a white collar worker, and she might be a manager or a programmer, while the man is a blue collar worker. He's a window cleaner. Um, the woman might have chosen her job because she could be lazy, and since sitting in an office isn't physically demanding, she's very comfortable. And the man, he might have chosen his job because maybe he's not afraid of heights, and cleaning the windows of tall buildings is not what he's scared of. Or maybe he just likes being outside.
Thank you. Thomas, in your opinion, which person is more satisfied with their job?
Oh, it's difficult to say. Office jobs often pay more than the jobs that involve physical work, so the woman might be more satisfied with the salary. But I think that being a manual worker is actually more rewarding because you can see the result of your work almost immediately. So I think it's the man who is more satisfied with his job.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel to be up to date with my English lessons. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!